it's Fifi Dobbs.
Hey, we're the Plain White Tees.
Hey, it's Ariana.
My name is Andrew. I play with Comeback Kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Spencer, this is the Hidden Beats podcast.
Hi guys, welcome back to the second episode of Hidden Beats,
Yeah, second episode.
not podcast.
Well, it's a podcast, but we don't want to say podcast because, I don't know, Hidden Beat sounds better.
Yeah, that's fair.
The main point that we're going to talk to you guys today is about concert photography and just kind of how-tos and what to use and what not to use and what we've learned through things.
And the gear that we use, and there's certain lenses that I find you should use, and I've learned the hard way not to bring to a show.
But we'll start off with the idea of concert photography is fun because you get to go experience something that no one else except for the few of you guys that might be in the pit are getting to experience. You're up front, you're taking pictures, you're making memories, you're having fun. Everybody is subjective when they're talking concert photography. Mm-hmm. So the one thing I will stress is find your style. Don't necessarily listen to other people because I'm going to be different than you. I'm going to be different than him. Mm-hmm. Same ones like this. What we can tell you is different things that we've learned and different gear that we've learned about and kind of pit etiquette and things like that when you're at a show because there's some crazy people at shows that you just, I don't know, people suck sometimes.
Yeah,
so
there's photographers that I've run into that are like, they've been shooting a very long time and they act like they know it all.
It's the whole gatekeeping thing. There's a lot of that in photography.
Like, I can't tell you my tricks. I can't tell you this. I can't tell you that because you got to learn this on your own. I had to learn it, so I'm not going to tell you that. And I'm just like, damn. I've had a guy to look at me and be like, I'm not going to give you my contacts, bro. And I'm just like, that's not what I wanted.
There's people now. One guy who I would consider a friend. He is very hard stuck about giving up any contact that he has about something because it's a client of his, and even though that's not what you're necessarily looking for, it's people are still trying to gatekeep their stuff because they're still doing their own thing, and so we're here to say that we're trying not to do that. We're trying to have fun, and this is a community, atmosphere that we're trying to develop here.
Yeah. If you have questions, ask them, and our team will answer you for sure.
If these guys don't answer you, I will, because Ryan's not here, as we talked about in the first episode. We still hate him; he sucks.
Yeah.
But we're all helpful, except Ryan because he's not here.
And he sucks.
Yeah. So everyone on the Hidden Beats team, that's all we do is we help build each other up. We have people who are young in photography, like myself, who's been doing this forever. We're all learning different things and we're having fun. So with that, I guess what stuff did you start shooting with? We talked a bit about this in the first episode, but like your main thing you started with was the AE1, you said?
Yeah, the AE1. I actually started photography using film, and like I said in the other one, I was living in a small town on Vancouver Island, and I have in a photo book, because I got everything actually developed and put in the 6x4x6 or 6x4 or whatever. And I have like 150 photos of us all living, not working, just living through the beginning of the pandemic in an isolated town where the Aboriginal people that were like it's an Aboriginal like town, and they blocked off the only road to go in and out, and only let locals in and out because they didn't want the tourists coming in to bring the COVID to anybody in the town, because they have elders, we have seniors, and
let's be honest, there's a PTSD thing there from back when settlers were coming over and bringing over smallpox and killing people.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't know what COVID was at that point. Like now we know it's it's kind of like the common cold, and
just a little bit rougher sometimes.
Yeah, and like it affects different people differently. But anyway, I have all these photos in film, and I hate myself because I stopped doing film, and now I have a film camera in my hand and I don't know how to use it. But back then, so many of these photos came out so freaking nice, and I need to digitalize them and then put them on the computer.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
To like really show them off. But like now I own 30 or 40 film cameras and Super 8 cameras.
That's a lot.
Just now it's just a collection. They're kind of wall pieces, but I'm starting to get into it. I just bought some 120 film, and I want to shoot a show with film,
Okay.
like bring like 2 bodies but 1 digital, and then bring a film camera on the side.
That'd be interesting.
But I don't have a film camera that I trust enough yet to use properly at a show, and I need to get like 3200 ISO film, which isn't cheap. So
That's one thing I don't know much about these days. I used to shoot some film stuff. I have an 81 in my closet somewhere too. I got some old stuff in there. I don't know much about it anymore these days. So when you're saying 32 ISO or whatever film, like I get that on a digital camera, but I didn't even realize they made the different films like that.
yeah, the number of like each one will see, like Kodak Gold 200, the like
Okay.
super basic film that like your mom would have put into a camera to take pictures of you when you were
Okay,
a
like
kid.
a street film type of thing.
Yeah, that's like 200 ISO. So
Makes
like
sense. Yeah, yeah.
you use it in daylight when you're on a family outing at the beach and stuff like
Yeah.
that, you know. So that's why like most of your family photos, one you probably used a flash,
Most likely, yeah.
and that was like automated into the camera, or it's outside pictures, and they're either sometimes they're way overexposed or they're way underexposed.
Well, I mean, I'm always one who've never liked to be in front of a camera anyway, so I have some pictures, and then there's a gap of time where I'm sure I didn't let my mom take a picture of me at all. But, you know, that is what it is. Now I'm behind the camera taking pictures, and I think myself, when I started, like I mentioned last time, I was in with Algonquin College doing a course, and I picked up a Sony A300 just because it was cheap. I didn't care, didn't know much about the brands, anything like that. Did my courses with that, and then like I was telling Tom earlier, my tattoo artist stole it. That's a fun, like when I say I've done some crazy things, I've done some crazy things, but yeah. So he stole it, and then I had to, if I wanted to keep up, I bought another camera. So I went to Canon. I think my first one was the T3i. I think.
The
Yeah.
Rebel.
Yeah, one of the
Yeah.
Rebels. Started doing stuff with that, and then I got a T5, and I think I went directly from that to a 5D Mark III, which is like at the time was a high-end professional camera.
It's still a professional
Yeah,
camera.
it's one of these boys here. So this is the Mark III. I have 2 of these now just because, I don't know, it's old at this point. This is it's like 10 years old or something like that.
But I was told by somebody once that it doesn't matter what you shoot with, it's the knowing how to shoot with it.
100%. So what we're going to do at the end of this episode, we're going to show you guys some of our favorite pictures that we've taken with like obsolete gear at this point. For me, I shoot on old stuff, but I mean, I'm kind of proud of some of my pictures, and I definitely know there's people out there who like what I shoot, and I'm sure you have some of the similar ideas. Like
I met a guy at, I think it was the Evanescence show,
Yeah.
and I was talking to him, and he had just upgraded to an R6 Mark II.
okay,
But he was like, I just got this, but I can't buy any lenses for it because they're all $4,000 or $5,000.
they're ridiculous.
But his second body, and it was basically his main camera, was a T3i. And he was
Yeah.
still using it, and he still rocked it, and
Yeah.
he's a fantastic photographer. I can't remember his name offhand right now, but he shoots black and white, and I can't remember off the top of my head what his name is, but he's a super nice guy, Montreal shooter. Mm-hmm. I think he shoots for one of the radio, like Virgin Radio or Sirius
Okay.
Radio or something like that. But yeah, and he does fantastic work with like a lower end camera. Mm-hmm. But I mean, when he bought it, it was the new
Big
thing
one at the time. Yeah. So in your opinion, what is your must-have setup when you're shooting a show? You shoot probably a little differently than I do. So what's your go-to that you need to bring to every show?
So my go-to, not at an arena or stadium. Like if I shoot at the Bell Center, I bring my 24 to 105.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. F4.
Okay.
Because the lighting in a stadium or an arena is generally
Typically,
good
yeah.
enough that you can having the f4 is fine, and then having
F4s are lighter lenses too usually. Which
yeah,
is fun.
exactly, and it's 24 to 105, so I can do the zoom shots and the wide shots.
Yeah.
But any other venue, I stick to my 16 to 35 2.8.
Okay.
And I mean, like, I am religious about that.
Yeah.
Only, unless I'm told that I can only shoot from the sides, or like, I haven't actually been told that I have to shoot from the soundboard yet.
Yeah, you're
but-
lucky.
Yeah, well, I've been waiting. I have this beast,
Yeah.
and I want to use this in like a venue, but I haven't been able to yet.
Yeah.
It's just sitting on my shelf. But I always bring the 16 to 35 because one, full body shots, full stage shots, or like you can always crop. And
Yeah,
if the photo is in focus properly, then you can crop it and it'll be fine. It'll
Yeah.
come out perfect.
Yeah, no, and like the 16 to 35 is what we're shooting on with this camera. Actually,
Both cameras,
both
yeah.
cameras have a 16 to 35 actually. So you could see that this lens can do some nice angles, things like that. It's wide, it's bright. You can do lots of fun things with
Yeah.
it. So if you were to do a second body, what would you be bringing then?
Realistically, I want to buy the R5 or the R5 Mark II for my second body.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a second body right now.
Mm-hmm.
I only have one camera because I traded my two cameras for this camera.
Which is a great camera.
Yeah, right now I shoot with the Canon EOS R. It's my first mirrorless camera. Love it. Again, don't have any RF lenses because they're out of my price range. So I have an adapter, EF to R. And I just use all the lenses I had before, which works perfectly fine. It doesn't affect anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, I think on the RF lenses, they have a ring control or something like that on it. I don't have one, so I haven't looked into it.
Yeah.
But I think there's a couple options that like your camera can connect with the lens more, and you can make some like certain settings on it.
Well,
but
that'd be fun.
Again, for what I need, I'm fine. Honestly, for what anyone needs,
That's
it's
probably
totally
okay,
fine.
Yeah, so that's what for you. For myself, I have my main body is this delightful 5D Mark III. I have two of these, like I was mentioning earlier, just because they're old. I wear the shutters out on these pretty aggressively. My second body, though, or my backup, is the 6D Mark I. Great camera for what it is. They're both full frame cameras. The 6D is like the entry level to the full frame world for Canon. A lot of people will say Canon, Nikon, all these different things. You don't need a specific camera to shoot. Mm-hmm. Like, you learn your camera, you'll shoot it good. Now, if you want to get into the nitpicky things, like Sony apparently has weird colors with their greens. Canon's apparently is the better glass. There's all kinds of different stuff you could do. But for me, my go-to everyday wear is I do two bodies. I do the 24-70 Mark II or f2.8, and then the 70 to 200 2.8, because you can hit every different level of whatever using a setup like that. There's obviously niche things, like we have this bad boy here, which is 150 to 600 mil.
I also bought this lens this summer.
Yeah. So these things are great for your soundboard shoots or whatever if you want to get real fancy.
Festivals.
Festivals are almost
That's why I bought it, was for the two
must-have.
festivals. And
Now-
it's so sharp.
Yeah.
It's so sharp.
Yeah, I shot the moon with this thing once, and like you can see some pretty epic stuff on there. I also do like equestrian photography on the side, so this is a bonus. But you don't need anything crazy. You don't need anything fancy. I have old cameras, old lenses, and I still do perfectly fine. And my go-to setup covers me for everything. And if I wanted to get really fancy, I could also use the 16 to 35, the 50 mil. A fun one for a lot of people who don't know is the 135 f2, which is a weird mid-range zoom.
Interesting.
But it's so good.
It's a prime lens?
Yeah, it's so good for portrait. Like Ryan, he has mine. He never gives it back. It's so good for portrait type stuff. So if you're shooting stationary band members, things like that, you can get some really cool shots with it.
That's wicked.
And I got that one dirt cheap from an estate sale or something like that. I got it for like $400.
That's
had a little wear and tear on it, but it was kind of sick. Actually, I don't pay full price for any of my stuff. Like I get discounts or.
This was my first brand new
Well, okay,
lens.
so full price. Full price. I'll
Yeah.
say for this.
What did
actually.
you pay for it?
1,000 on Amazon.
You got it on Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
I paid. I think tax in it was 1,300.
Yeah, I got it. It was on sale on Amazon when I got it. That's
yeah.
why.
Yeah, it was 1,300, and as long as it's fine, I can go back and still buy the warranty from, because I have to go to Gosselin. I can't go to. We don't have a Henry's in Montreal or in
That makes
Quebec.
sense. Yeah.
So I have to go to Gosling, and they're like, it protects against everything besides fire.
That's okay. That's not bad.
But what if your house burns down?
That your insurance will cover.
No,
that.
you grab your lens.
No, but it's but okay. Yes, grab your lens, but house insurance will cover that.
I don't have a job.
They'll buy you new stuff.
I don't have house insurance.
You have to. So Talia does probably.
Talia does, yes, but we tried to put me on it. Right down to me sitting down and writing down a list of all my gear, and then she called them and we're like, yeah, they can't do that. And but now I have a detailed list of all the gear I own, so that's good, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, those are the basic stuff, and everyone's going to shoot differently when it comes to shows. I've seen actually one of the guys that goes to the festivals. It's crazy. I swear to God, he runs around with no less than 4 cameras for different things, so he can just pop off different stuff and do different things.
Crazy. Have you seen the belts?
Yeah, he has the belt. He has the little harness here,
crazy.
and I think he has. So he has 2 on there, 1 on his little chest harness. He might carry 1 around with him too, but he's insane. He goes crazy shooting all kinds of stuff, and he's the busiest person I've seen shooting. Shout out Elliot. He's a good buddy. He does some crazy stuff, but first time I met him, I saw 3 cameras, and I'm like, what the hell do you need 3 cameras for?
crazy.
That's too much. But he's all over the place, and he does just fine with what he's doing.
I mean, 3 cameras, if you it's a lot to carry and stuff, but
But he's got small guys like yours, like the mirrorless stuff, which is a lot lighter. He's using a pancake lens on one. I think the biggest one he has is the 200 mil. So
it's not, 200, 24 to 70, and then even a fisheye would be sick.
Yeah,
I think
he's got kind of all.
thing. Yeah, that
so
would
it's
be
good
awesome.
if you're trying to run around and be crazy, but I don't like carrying all this stuff. The F4 stuff, like you was talking about earlier, is light as hell. It's amazing. I had an F4, like a 70-200 F4 for the longest time, because it was the lightest lens I've ever used. It was so insane.
I hate carrying around my 70 to 200 because it's so freaking heavy.
So here,
You have it right there.
I do actually. The 7200 F2, or 2.8, sorry. This is 3 times the size of the F4, weight wise.
Wait, let me.
Yeah, there's
I actually think this one's heavier.
it's a little more dense.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah,
it's
that's why.
this one has almost metallic parts on it, and this one's pretty much all plastic.
Yeah.
On the outside at least, So, I don't have what do you call these?
The hoods.
The hoods. Yeah, I don't have a hood for mine.
I don't use it really.
It didn't come with it. I bought it used.
That's why.
The guy's dad passed away, and he was selling off his stuff, and I got mine for I think I paid $850.
That's probably what I paid for about this.
Yeah, and is this the 2 or is it
2.8?
2? Oh wait, no.
It's the
No, it's the exact same one I have.
Yeah.
It has the image stabilization.
yeah.
But there's one
There's a
before
version
this one
before
that
that,
doesn't
yeah.
have it. Yeah.
Which okay, guys, image stabilization is huge. The new mirrorless stuff has a lot of that, but if you can get lenses with it, also, it's such a bonus.
Yeah, especially shooting concerts because everyone's moving constantly all the time.
Yeah. And like I said, we're going to show you guys some of the cool stuff that we have shot over the years. I'll probably pick out 5 or 6. We have a couple from the team too that are going to submit some stuff.
Yeah.
But everyone uses different stuff. We have Canon, Sony users.
Nikon.
We have one
Alicia.
Nikon user, maybe 2, because Nikon sucks. Alicia sucks too, just because.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about your go-to gear. Photographers, let us know in comments, and what's your favorite lens? We're going to have stuff down here. I want to know if you guys have ideas on lenses that you think are more useful than stuff that we have.
What is your brand? What do you think is the best brand.
Yeah,
And if
the-
you've used multiple brands, which one?
Yeah. The great
has-
debate. We want to know Sony, Canon, even
Yeah,
Fujifilm,
Fuji's
Nikon.
huge now.
Yeah, I don't even understand one
A
of it.
guy I went to school with, he bought the Fuji FX something or GX.
There's like a weird like
Yeah, but it's like a
mid
medium format. Yeah. And like I don't think he has the best medium format one, but there's an even better one, and it's like 100 megapixels.
There's some dude here in Ottawa who apparently has that.
It's insane. It's like I think it's like a $10,000
Yeah,
camera.
yeah, that sounds about right. He has that, and then does free stuff, and I don't understand
That's insane.
what goes on in the mindset there.
You have money.
I mean, I'd love to have. If someone wants to send us some money, we're gonna buy some new gear and show it off to you. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And hey,
I will take any picture you want if you guys send
Canon,
us your-
Sigma, make sure you reach out and we sponsor us.
Even
because
Tamron.
We have all your gear. We use your gear. We showing off like 3 or 4 pieces right here, and we want to experience some more fun stuff.
Yeah. Sigma has been a big one lately. When I did my work term in June, I was using their Sigma's 30 mil, like 1.4 prime lens.
Okay, yeah.
Beautiful lens.
Yeah.
Beautiful lens. And they're not too expensive either. I've been seeing them go around for like under $1,000, and I've almost picked one up, and I always regret not doing it. But like even for shows, it would be perfect.
I like Sigma. I tried Tamron. I tried the Tamron version of this guy actually. Hated it.
Really?
Because it has like a reverse focus, like compared to anything else. Like these guys all focus.
So does this one though, compared to this?
No, they focus the same way.
What was different on this?
You have to-
no, it's there instead of there. That's the difference.
Yeah, there was all kind of, but the Tamron was like the opposite direction, though. So your hand movements were different. So if you're used to doing certain
you had
things-
to go like this.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
the lens was fine, but like just that lens feel when you're trying to do stuff quickly.
Yeah.
It was gross. I used that for Backstreet Boys actually, and I returned it the day after the show because I was like, this doesn't feel good to me right now.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, made me a little sad. Tamron, come on, guys. Unless there's something I'm doing wrong, reach out to me. Let me know. That'd be great. And then obviously your must-haves. You have to have some good SD cards.
Yeah. Fast.
And please don't ever bring a flash to a concert unless it's like a paid thing that you're doing. Like you can't be in the pit using a flash. Those are some
First
pit.
3, no flash.
Yeah, those are some pit etiquette. We'll talk about that shortly too, because there is a lot of stuff that goes into getting out there and shooting at a venue, in a show, pit etiquette, all that fun garbage.
Yep.
And yeah, we're going to touch base on that for sure, because concert photography, like we mentioned, is a little bit crazy. So there's lots of stuff to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's learning it over the past couple of years has been a learning process, that's for sure, and learning.
What's the hardest thing that you've overcome?
Getting in people's way.
Yeah, you're tall. I mean, I'm big too, though. I got big shoulders,
Yeah.
so
Also, like, don't bring your huge backpack
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
in the pit. When I shot Lamb of God, I brought that bag. It's a huge camera bag. Mm-hmm. And I brought that in the pit with me because I didn't know. It was my first time shooting with anybody in Montreal, so I didn't really know what I should do. And for that one show, we didn't go back down to the lockers. We all just met in the general admission
okay.
area, and we just all hung out there till the next act. And so like I just had my bag on me the whole time. And when I went into the pit, the first band, I can't remember the band's name that opened for them, but it was just like I had a 70 to 200 and this giant backpack on my bag, and I think I pissed a couple people off, that's for sure.
you would have pissed me off. I would have told you to go sit it down on the side or something.
Yeah.
I've had that. I'm big, so like I take up space, but some of these pits are small. Some of them you can't move around in some of them. I've had some where I've had to hop over speakers to get over to the next pit, like on the floor. It's insane. the way
I've
some of these
definitely
are.
done some daring shit while doing some concert photography for Comeback Kid in January. And for this one, I did use a flash, but I knew the promoter. I was
That's what I mean. Unless you know you're
Yeah,
allowed
I
to.
think I was allowed, but nobody got mad at me,
Nobody
and I
said
took some
anything?
really good shots at show. But I was also doing the interview video for that. I was getting B-roll during it, but I had a flash, so it made my camera like this big basically.
Yeah.
And I was front row the entire show. There's no photo pit, and there was just people stage diving over me constantly
That
while I
would've
was
been
doing,
something.
and I was just going.
Yeah.
There, and one guy called me a legend because he saw me at the front the whole time.
Yeah.
And I have one video that's in our Comeback Kid video for the B-roll, and a girl named Holly from Halifax. She's the vocalist of Thousand Knives. Look them up; they're great. Jumps over me, somersaults onto the
Okay.
stage perfectly, and then jumps back into the crowd on the other side of the stage. It was so flawless, incredible.
Yeah, the pit can be a wild place. I've had things, people being pulled over from crowd surfing, security guards throwing you out of the way. Like there's pyro, there's all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff, and it's kind of crazy to think just how mad it can get in there, like with crazy space happening and nothing going. You have to stand in one spot. You can't move around. You
Yep.
got CO2 blasts. You got pyro pops, things like that. Lots of fun things.
Yeah, I love pyro. I got my first experience with pyro this summer at Il Sonique, and it was so nice. And that was my first photo that really blew up. I don't know why it blew up, but I think DJ Snake was in it.
Oh,
and
that's
I think
why.
that's
It's DJ
why.
Snake, yeah.
And it I went to bed and then woke up and it was at like 28,000 views, and
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And now my views on Instagram, I've kept them above 40 to 50,000 since the summer.
Which is better than the Hidden Beats one, guys.
Yeah, but
we need you guys looking at stuff.
We've been getting it back up the last
yeah.
the last like month, and we went from 6,000 views, and now we're at 40K.
Yeah.
And that was only what, like
2 months.
7 shows that we posted on there, I think, and plus a few interviews.
Well, no, I've done a
and stuff.
couple. Yeah, we did. So I'd say with that's a whole other topic we're gonna get into too, is social media and the algorithm. But like, yeah, you can get some crazy stuff, some crazy things going on view wise, and bringing. Yeah, like you said, we're up to 40K now, just over 2 months, which is fun. But yeah, the pit stuff is interesting, and you can see some cool stuff. This will be some fun stuff. But if we get into pit etiquette stuff, what do you think is, like, if you had to pick top 3 pit etiquette rules to follow? Obviously, there's probably hundreds of them out there, but what do you think are the most important?
Let other people get the shot.
Okay.
Like, if don't stick to the center stage the whole time. Make sure that you for one, you want a variety of shots. You want to be left stage, right stage, center stage, but so does everybody else. And if you're in a pit with 10, 11, 12 people, sometimes it can get pretty insane. And for like this summer, for example, I shot NoFX's second last show technically in Montreal.
Yeah.
And there were like 10 photographers in the pit. Luckily, I shot the entire thing with this guy, and the pit was like a T.
Okay.
And I was the only one with a massive lens. So everyone else was like scrambling in the middle and stuff.
You were able to
and
step back,
I just stood back
Yeah.
and went to like 500 millimeters, and that makes sense, right? Yeah, 500
Yeah.
millimeters, and just shot from the back, and it was perfect. I got right on shots. And like I also noticed, if you're at the stage, don't do this in a small venue or even probably an arena if you're in the pit, but if you go to 150 and you shoot from the side and kind of duck down a bit, it'll still fire. It won't be too close.
Yeah.
And it works. I got a really close up picture of Fat Mike, right? Like you can.
Yeah.
I sent it to my brother, and he was like, "You can see his pores."
Yeah, that's fun. One for me, I think, is like you said, let the other people get a shot, but like be mindful of your space, because there's lots of things going on. Like I was saying a few minutes ago, there is so many things in the pit and not enough space to walk around for everybody.
Yeah.
If you have a big pit, you can take up space, trip people. It causes chaos even more so. If someone falls and hurts themselves, they're missing out on everything, and you feel like a dick because you've ruined someone's night, really.
Yep.
And if they want to sue you, they can. I mean, really, you've injured them potentially.
Another thing, wear black. And a friend of mine in the Montreal scene recently showed me why. Because I'm known for wearing a bright yellow hat. Excuse me. And she showed me her shots. You see in the corner just this yellow blurb coming up all the time. She's like, wear a black hat next time.
Now, I understand that we have someone here, I won't say his name, but we turned his name into a verb because he does that same thing all the time about getting in front of your shots, and he likes to wear a red hat sometimes. I personally, as I understand the idea of the black, but I don't always do that. I have a lot of black stuff, but sometimes I just don't have enough stuff to, like,
It's true.
I wear a Hawaiian shirt one time in there, and if I'm in your shot, then I don't know. I figure either crop me out or whatever, because we're all trying to do the same thing.
Yeah,
And
exactly. It's true. It's true.
There's the respectfulness of it, I guess, too, and I understand that. And for the most part, you'll see me wearing black. I don't wear sleeves. Like, I don't have sleeves on this thing. I don't have sleeves on 90% of my shirts. So it's usually a darker color, black, and no sleeves, so you get my big ass arms in there. But yeah, I mean, like you said, yellow hat stands out amazingly sometimes.
Yeah.
We have the same thing here, so I can understand the idea behind that. I just don't like the people that are mega strict about it and like mean to you almost, or try to be. Nobody's mean to me, but they try to be forceful about the idea of you wearing black.
Yeah, and that goes back to the kind of conceited...
The gatekeepers.
The
and stuff.
gatekeepers, yeah, that are like, I've been doing this forever, like, you should know, or like, I know all the rules, you should respect me, blah, 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 and like...
I'm sorry, gatekeepers, but I very much would like to see any of you tell me what I'm actually going to do and see if that works out for you.
Yeah, I haven't even been shooting for 5 years. Photography in general hasn't even been 5 years. It's getting up there. Like, in the new year, it's almost 5 years. But, like, and some people have been shooting for, like, 20 years. And I get that. But, like, don't be a dick.
There's levels of respect that you should have for people. And if someone's not doing something, you might kindly say, hey, this is something that generally photographers do, but don't be an asshole about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's funny, the second episode, we actually start swearing a little bit now, it seems like. Too.
Yeah, I was trying to, like, hold back before because I didn't know, like, there might be a restriction on YouTube.
First 30 seconds.
Okay. Wait, really?
Yeah.
You can't swear in the first 30 seconds? That's a real
Otherwise,
thing
you
on
get
YouTube?
demonetized and stuff, yeah.
Oh, well, fuck.
Yeah, because there's an algorithm hit. So, like, now that we're more than half an hour into this, and as long as we're not dropping crazy stuff, it's going to be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah.
More social media stuff on another episode, because there's so many things with YouTube and Facebook and Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called now.
TikTok.
TikTok.
I've been trying to post videos on TikTok for the past year, and I'm not good at it. I use the auto edit thing every single time, unless
There's
it's like
an auto edit thing.
yeah. When you like, say, well, like.
I know there's apps out there now. You can literally drop a video in. And
Well, if you
do
go
all that
post
nonsense
on
for you.
TikTok, and then you post it's not gonna, like, if you put 4 clips of you talking, it's not gonna put them in a row for you properly and stuff like that. But it'll, like, create a video for you, basically. And I do that for 90% of my TikToks, unless, like, I put up a few drone videos, and I didn't do it for that.
I did not know that existed. And if you guys look at Hidden Beats TikTok, all it is clips of interviews that I haven't done anything with this year. Really.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know Hidden Beats had a TikTok.
We have exactly. We have a TikTok, and I don't know, maybe check out some stuff the new year. We're gonna have some of these clips of these videos on there, I guess, because if I don't start doing it, then we're not gonna ever do it.
Yeah, that's true. These videos are. This is probably the second week into January right now, maybe the third week.
Maybe the third week. Yeah, we don't have a release date schedule yet,
And
specific.
So tell us how New Year's was.
Yeah.
What did you do? Say it in the comments below.
And then, we want to know what you guys think of the pit too. There's so many other rules we can go over that we've learned.
Yeah,
But like
tell us your
your
rules.
concert etiquette.
All around the world too. Like we're just talking about 2 cities in Canada.
Yeah, that's it.
And,
We're like US, the rest of Canada, anywhere. Like we have so many people around, and I'm sure you've all heard different things.
Yeah.
Like what's more of the stuff you've heard for Montreal?
It's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. And like Evenco are amazing. The people that I've dealt with Evenco, very, very nice people. But like, the only thing I would complain about with the Montreal shows is sometimes the security is a little weird at some of the shows. But sometimes I can't decipher the. I think decipher is a word. Between the band security and the venue security, and sometimes I'm just like am I supposed to be here, or like are you supposed to be here? Why are you like? Why is something different now? I don't like change, and if something
Yeah.
changes in the venue that I've shot at 17 times in 1 month, and one day it's different, I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah,
What's going
where
on?
did that come from? Yeah, there's so many things, and like, so, yeah, you have to respect security. Security is a big thing. I've made friends with so many security guards, and knowing what they're doing and them knowing what you're doing helps you guys get along and manage the pit so much easier. Respect your space. So I pulled up one of the articles that we have on the blog and trying to keep an idea some how you survive the pit. Like non-intrusive moments is also another thing too with minding your space. You don't want to stand for a whole song in front of a whole bunch of people that are there also paying. So you try to get your shot, move around, do some different things. Security, they don't care that you're there taking pictures. If they have to be in one spot,
Shoot around them.
you got to figure that out. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a big thing. And like he was saying earlier, he brought his bag one time. Mind your gear and put your, you have to pay attention to stuff because we all have expensive stuff that we're bringing here too. Lots of things to think about that way. I know one of our younger guys, when we were trying him out, he left his camera bag at one of the festivals in the pit and just left it there and went somewhere else. I don't know how anyone would think about doing that and leaving all their gear there thinking that it's safe and security's going to watch it, but we got told after the fact, he's like, yeah, make sure you take that with you because we don't care about it.
Jeez. And like if you think about it, they don't see you put it there. This day and age, it could be like a mysterious package.
So here in Ottawa, most of the security guards know all of us and they know there's nothing getting in there. They're a pretty tight team, but like if you're new to a spot and you don't know, it could be anything really.
Yeah, exactly. And I am terrified to lose my one camera because I can't buy another camera right now. And if I lose this, I'm done.
Yeah. That's such a hard thing to wrap your mind around sometimes too. Like wear and tear on these things. So like before you hit the mirrorless world, these DSLRs, like the 5D3 has a shutter life on it, and we're talking these are 10 years old now. You can go through those shutters pretty damn quickly after
But
10
also,
years of doing it.
I think of it like a car. Like there's a car, say, not a Ford because they're a lot less, but like say like a Dodge Ram. Their life expectancy in kilometers is roughly 250 to 300,000 kilometers.
That's generally most cars nowadays is about that before you really.
And then like I think of it the same as a camera.
Well, the life expectancy for the shutter on the Mark III is like 250,000.
But it's not just going to stop.
It could, though.
Yeah, it could. But like it's not specifically going to stop when you hit 250,000.
If you're maintaining these things great, you can replace the shutter, things like that. You can do that. But then that's when you get into the cost analysis of like, is it worth putting a new shutter in this thing that's 10 years old that's not even going to sell for that much? So then do you invest that money into a new one at that point?
Yeah.
Which is the hard thing. Like if you're shooting on a dime that you don't have.
I bought a new camera in January from this guy. He seemed like a genuine guy. Don't buy used equipment off of Facebook Marketplace and meet in a dark area in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Okay, well, I've bought some of the stuff off of Marketplace.
I have too. Don't
hit
get
or
me wrong.
miss,
I
hit or
have too.
miss, yeah.
But like, he was like, "Yeah, it's a perfect camera, no problem." Like, and like at the time, I don't really know technical stuff about cameras. If it shoots, the shutter fires, it turns on, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied. But I think it started to get an error 1 or something like that. Brand new to me camera, $900 I spent on it of a student loan at that. So I'm technically still paying it back.
Yeah.
And it died out, and I had to send it away, and it was like $500 something to fix it. And the only reason I had the money to fix it is because of student loans again. So I'm still
You're almost paying it off double at that point.
friggin' $1,400 put into a 60 Mark II to have it, and then I traded both of them for half that price each.
Because
And
the Mark IIs are brand new like that price now, aren't they?
Mark
Like
IIs,
1,400? They were 18 when they
I
first
don't know if
came
you can
out.
buy them brand new anymore. They don't make them anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they came out in
They're not that old.
2016, 2017?
No way, Mark IIs?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Jesus,
Because
okay.
after this, they had the 70 Mark II, and then they
70's
went
a
to
crop, though.
mirrorless.
The 70's a crop, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so then the 60
Is this
Mark...
full frame?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So the 60 Mark II, I'm pretty sure came out after that. It's like the last generation of the full frames I think they did
Okay.
in the Canon realm. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's like the last iteration they started doing before really jumping into the mirrorless world.
Okay. Well, the 90D.
Is that a full?
Canon 90D is a full frame DSLR.
What's the equivalent of it in the?
It's like a 32 megapixel camera, 4K. It's a really good camera.
Okay, so probably similar to a 5D4.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and then I think after the 90D is when they came out with the Rs.
They started doing the
They
R
started
series,
doing the
mirrorless
Rs.
stuff,
Yeah, because I'm not even sure what year my camera came out. I think my camera came out in 2019.
Sounds about right.
I have the EOS R, and then I don't know the order. It's like Star Wars. They came out with like the different numbers in different orders.
Yeah, and sometimes they go backwards, which is weird.
Yeah, like they just came out with the R1.
Yeah,
The first ever R1 just got released this year. Like
that's their flagship model and stuff. Like,
I want it so badly though.
I
It's
don't really.
it looks like the R3. Like it has
It has the beefiness. Yeah,
it has the wider like body. Like I
it's
don't
like
know.
a built-in grip to it.
Is that what it
basically.
is? Yeah. And all I've seen is a guy named Simon D'Entremont from Nova Scotia, and he's an animal photographer. He does a lot of birds and stuff, but he's getting really big, and I believe he's sponsored or endorsed by Canon now. And he
Okay.
got to try out the R1 and R5 Mark II as
The
well.
2 is supposed to be pretty cool.
In Africa. So
Yeah.
I don't know what lens he used, but like he got some beautiful pictures at like 128,000 ISO. Or
I mean-
12,800. 12,800.
I do 12,000 on this sometimes.
Yeah, it still scares me to go above 8,000. I've been going to 10 lately, and like I use the denoise in Lightroom and stuff,
Yeah.
but like it still scares me a little bit.
Now, okay, jumping back because we were talking about like pit etiquette and stuff like that. What do you think of how stages and lights and stuff are set up? Since we went on a tangent about African animal photography.
Stages are typically okay as long. I think I was explaining to you. There's a venue in I keep saying Halifax. Venue in Montreal, and the stage is like here to me. Hate that.
Yeah.
Don't like that at all. But then like I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
So typically stages are good for me. But then there's the other venue I mentioned to you where I got kicked in the face. That venue is like maybe
4-foot stage
like
type
yeah,
of thing?
it's a super small stage, which is great. But again, there's no pit at this venue, so like there's a chance that you will get kicked in the face while shooting.
Yeah.
depending on the music that's playing. Because I find my girlfriend stresses this as well, that a hardcore show is going to be a lot more violent than going to a heavy metal show.
Yes.
Because heavy metal, like, the crowd pushes in the mosh pit. Hardcore kids kick you.
Yeah. I am too old for hardcore shows. I've been to a couple. I've been to a couple metal shows, but that's your realm, man. I don't
I can't even go to
dabble in that anymore.
these acoustic shows that I shoot. They hurt me.
Yeah.
My back hurts sitting here at this couch.
This is a shitty couch, guys. Yeah.
Well, if you guys watch this podcast, we can buy Tom a new couch.
There we go.
Just kidding. We're not using the money for that.
Yeah, I know. Sad. No, I feel that, like, trying to survive the stages, the lighting, the crowds, the security, the figuring your pit etiquette out, knowing your gear. Like, there's so many things to wrap your head around as a concert photographer.
Yeah.
It's not exactly something everyone should get into, really.
It's
Like, if you're not mentally prepared, like, you have to be of a strong fortitude to be able to handle shooting, even the club scene now, like doing a bar show. I don't do those anymore. I
don't even do those anymore.
Well done those, and there's some crazy stuff. Like, we were talking about being mashed by a comethazine show. I had to pick up kids off the floor, and like a riffraff show with bottles being whipped across the bar.
Yeah.
Like, there's so
Ice
many
Cube show with just fist fights
fist fights
in the middle of
everywhere,
it. And also at that Ice Cube show, as we were leaving the venue, because we both got our shots, we were done, and we were leaving the venue, and we saw security running back into the pit, because I guess a girl was in the front row with a sign, and she was blocking the people behind her, who started wanting to fight her.
Yeah, I've
and
seen
we were
that.
like, the friend I was with, like, went to the washroom or something. I stood by the front doors to leave, and I was just waiting for her, and I was just like hearing people, like the security and shit,
Yeah.
just slowly started to happen. And my friend just casually walks out from the bathroom, and it's like, okay, let's go. I tell her as we're walking out. It was I didn't see the aftermath of that, but I'm sure Truro, Nova Scotia.
There's stories that we could probably tell you guys of different things that we've experienced. For me, like the bar brawls, the bloody noses, the Insane Clown Posse cleaning up after the venue, like until 5 a.m. just mopping up Fago. I mean, I have personally, and my wife will hate to hear this as she watches this episode, I've personally almost been shot twice, just because these young kids think they're tougher than they are, and they carry guns around.
You're gonna get a shot by saying that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Try everything twice.
Yeah, that's not the first time I've almost been shot at, but it's been outside of lots of stories. But surviving the pit is a big thing. Surviving concert photography is a big thing. You could be lucky and just shoot from the soundboard and not have to worry about all the crazy stuff up front. And then all you really have to focus on is your gear. Bring your big lens. Bring a stool, because there's some short people out there. Shout out to Renee here in Ottawa. I have to stand behind her every time because she's too short to do anything. So
I know a lot of people that are like,
Yeah.
I didn't bring my stool. And I'm just like, that's hilarious. But I
have
totally get it. I get it.
I have to bring a stool sometimes. Like, I'm 6 foot, so
You
there's
guys
still
told
that
me
chance of.
You told me to bring a stool to the festivals, and I didn't. And Ryan also said to bring a stool, and I didn't. And I was okay because, again, I'm pretty tall, but
Yeah,
it would have helped.
yeah. It's one of those things where you live and learn, and I've lived those. Ryan's lived those. I can't be the guy who can hold a camera with this big son of a bitch over my head anymore because my shoulders don't like it. So if I have a stool
heavy.
and my monopod, I can just sit back and relax and shoot.
I brought the monopod, and I didn't love the monopod.
It's useful if you really have an idea how you're going to use it. I
Yeah,
actually
that's
have
fair.
a setup on mine where I can tuck that into a pocket or hook it onto my belt, and it's like a walking stabilizer, which is kind of interesting. Because you
I know what you mean. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I have something like that where I can do with mine. But just being on a stool with the monopod If you're set up in the right spot, you just have less weight on your arms, and all you have to do is click, and you don't have to support things, and it's a bonus for me for sure.
I just like the ability to like, just move free. I take a lot of vertical shots.
I need to start doing that more. I started this year. Ryan always gave me shit for that, and I was like, this is easy. This is easy to do this, and it looks good on a computer screen.
Yeah.
But vertical shots I'm doing that more.
For one Instagram posts, like you can do horizontal. They look fine, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's just like when you're scrolling, it fits your phone better.
It does.
And I know it's stupid to say that because it's social media but like we're content creators, whether we want to be or not. Mm-hmm. We're literally sitting in your basement making content right now.
Yeah, exactly.
We're content creators.
Yeah.
Not just photographers. Like I'm trying to get into film more. I'm working on a documentary now and stuff like that. But like I started out because I wanted to take pictures, and the way you succeed, hopefully we'll see what this podcast does, is
it's content.
Is content creation,
Keep
videos, audio.
Hopefully the audio sounds good on this, guys, because we're just trying some stuff out. I think it's gonna be pretty good.
I think we're gonna be okay. Worst case,
later on
we're interesting enough that you don't notice it.
Well, you need audio for people to want to listen.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which should be good enough, and we should be able to just keep getting bigger and better. I don't know, we're moving on up in the world.
And I'm coming down once a month, maybe once a month and a half, to come shoot, come meet and plan. And this is actually, today's my first time ever in Ottawa. Mm-hmm. I've never been here before. I've lived and been all across Canada besides Saskatchewan, because who really wants
Saskatchewan,
to, nobody goes there. But this is my first time in Ottawa, and for some reason it's the capital of Canada. Don't really understand that.
Just because of the Parliament building, that's it.
It used to be Quebec City.
Like back in...
Like the 1867 or something like that.
Until they actually built Parliament, and then that was it. And,
exactly.
But Parliament's the only reason. Otherwise, like, the capital of Ontario is Toronto.
Yeah, that's true.
So here it's just because you can see Trudeau do stupid things, and people like to...
But I mean, like, Washington, D.C., it's in Maryland.
Yeah, I suppose.
But it's a District of Columbia, or whatever they call it.
I don't know. The U.S. does things that still confuse me to these days.
Yes.
That's a whole other episode, but I don't know. Here it's fun. We just don't get as much as we'd like to. We have a great community here, though, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I wasn't living in Montreal, like, I don't think, for one, I could afford Toronto.
I don't think anyone realistically can afford Toronto unless they're selling their souls somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, I think Ottawa would be the move. Maybe someday Talia.
If you guys do move to Ottawa, we'll move you up the rank a little bit so you can shoot shows before some of the other guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan's not here, so he might get knocked down a peg or two, but
yeah.
they'll have to fight it out, and maybe we'll put that as an episode. You guys just having a mud wrestle or something. That'd be funny as hell.
What about oil?
Well, yeah, you can do oil.
Oil and mud.
Yeah, you mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We actually, so completely off the topic, I actually, financed a chocolate pudding wrestling match once. Those are some other fun stories.
That's on a different website.
I mean, it could be on this one. If you guys ask for more stories, we'll get real deep into who we are and how we became to be who we are now. Because I've done things.
Pornhub.com. Search the Pudding Man. You'll find Tom.
No, you won't. Trust me. Well, guys, we're coming to the end of this episode. So what we're going to do to end everything out is we're going to show you guys some of our favorite shots that we've shot. Like Tom and myself, we'll pull out some of the archives. We'll get some of the other team to submit some stuff.
Yeah.
We want to hear your thoughts on everything, on the pit, on concert photography, on how to get into it. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. And one of us will answer every single question until we get really bored of it.
Yeah.
And don't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's true. I'm jobless.
So he can do that. He can do that regularly.
I'll do it right now.
Yeah, so put a question in right now, and
Yeah.
he'll do that as the video's going and answer a question.
But remember, it's December, so like, it's gonna be a little bit late.
Well, you can still answer the question.
It's coming out in January.
Yeah, but you can save it for later.
That's fair.
Oh man, this is a fun one. I think we're having fun doing these things. It'll be good.
Yeah, this is it's going well, and we're just learning about each other more and more because we don't really know each other. Like, we know each other online basically, but like this is the second time we've met.
There's stories. I have so many stories I could tell you. Yeah, there's a lot.
We should get into some stories someday, photography or not.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, have a good one, guys. This is Hidden Beats.
Later.
In a crowd, the flashing lights are standing tall. Capture moments, memories that won't fall.